I think it's time for me to do a check-in with you guys. My physique right now, I'm 210.6. My strength in the gym has been pretty good. Hunger cues have been up and down non-stop. I've been pretty good with following the plan, which is kind of why we're seeing some results. Mental, it's hard right now. And I know it's so crazy to hear that because of what my life has transformed and changed into in the last few months. I just need to be real with you guys, and I need to be real with myself. I always talk about embracing vulnerability, and I always talk about feeling it, and it's okay to not be okay, and all this stuff, and I need to live up to that because that's what's gonna help me get through what I'm going through. We're gonna dive into it, but I'm gonna show you guys some clips of what my life has been like for the past few months as I've been traveling, and I have been speaking at events and going to walks, meeting new people, just seeing new places and sharing my story with the world, sharing my story with other people who have MS and are battling this monster. I am so blessed to be able to have the opportunity to do this. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while. So we're gonna dive into it. This is what my life kind of has looked like for the past few months.
We got something that everybody else wants. We got something nobody can take from us. We got something gold. Baby, you and me like gold.
It's gonna be really cool. We're supposed to have like over 600 people show up. The vibe is already pretty fun. Cool scenes. So yeah. We'll just keep you posted as we go. So, standing next to this, the first thing that comes to mind is probably what an avatar's size is. So this is a real life avatar size.
So it's amazing how welcoming New Orleans was. I just want to say that place was definitely a vibe of its own. My friend Jeremiah and his sister Clarissa hosted us while we were down there, and I cannot thank them enough to show us the ins and outs and just really give us a New Orleans experience. We went to a local crawfish boil, which was awesome. Just got to see a lot of cool sights. And yeah, super fun. I did an event in Shreveport shortly after that, and that was very eye-opening to me in how my story actually was impacting and helping wheelchair users. I was nervous how they were going to react to my story and my mindset, but apparently it was something that really helped them, and I was really grateful for that. I traveled to Fort Worth after that, went to an MS walk. Where else did I go? I've been to Colorado Springs. I did an event down there. Long Beach, California. Trying to think of where else. I've been just kind of bouncing around, and it's been awesome. This whole time has been super fun. So you're probably wondering, if all that was happening and all this, why am I mentally having a hard time? My first theory about it is I personally believe in what we call the crap gap with my medication. Some people who take infusions think it's real, some people don't. Doctors think it's real, some don't. I don't know. I'm just speaking out of experience and my opinion, but basically what the crap gap is you have your infusion, and then 24 weeks, 25 weeks, you're supposed to have your next infusion. So 5 to 6 months from there's a gap. And they do that because within that time frame, right around that 6-month mark is when they say that your B cells are starting to regrow and whatnot. And then, your immune system starts attacking your body again, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. I'm not a doctor. But then they say that if your B cells are starting to like increase again and regrow, as you're getting closer to your next infusion, that's what they call it the crap gap, where you start feeling like crap again until you get your next infusion and they, deplete your B cells again to lower progression risks and whatnot. So with all that being said, I'm not a doctor, but I do believe in the crap gap, because 6 months ago when I had my last infusion, right before I got it, out of nowhere I started feeling like crap again. Just felt like shit. And I'm starting to see that same pattern going into this infusion. I'm literally a couple weeks away from my next infusion. My second theory is I'm in prep, and this shit's hard. And not a single part of me thought this was going to be easy. I was as prepared for this as I possibly could have done, having never done this before. I'm walking into something that I have never done in my life, with 3 incurable diseases. Like, I've never done this before, and why did I decide to do it now? It's because it's something I've always wanted to do. And I wanted to show myself that I can do it and show others. Your mindset matters, and you can do a lot more than you think. But prep has definitely been a wild ride. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I have learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about those around me. Really have seen some true colors of people, good and bad. And I think that's just the beauty of bodybuilding. Those who don't understand it are either with you or they're not. I don't really see a middle line. I mean, in my experience, they're either out there like, dude, that's not a good idea. You probably shouldn't be doing this. Dude, you feel like shit. You should probably just eat this, or, dude, just go, just take a day off or whatever. And then there's the other side that's it's rough, dude. This sucks, but there's a reason, and you're working towards something. And that's exactly what it is. In order to be crazy shredded, you gotta do crazy shit. And I'm completely natural, for the record, but I'm just saying, bodybuilding is such a crazy sport. You build the biggest relationship with yourself in the process. You build a relationship with the gym. There are things that you do in the gym, whether it's rep count, cardio sessions, there are things that you do there that you can just relate to in real life. You train till failure. You give it your all every single session. And if you can take that same concept into your life, you notice a huge difference. I literally, because I have MS, I know that I'm looking at a disease that could make me disabled, to where I couldn't use my legs, or I could go blind. There are just so many variables that could happen. So I kind of flip the perspective in my mindset, where I train every session like it's the last time I'm gonna hit that session, because I don't know if I relapse and I get a disability. It's all about flipping your perspective, changing the narrative. But and my third theory is, I think talking so much about my story is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to share my story with the world. Before I had MS, I always wanted to be a motivation to people. And then I got MS. And then I got what I was asking for. I got the opportunity to share my story. Granted, it wasn't the way that I envisioned it to be, but I got what I asked for. I got the opportunity to share my story with the world. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Every event that I speak at, every walk that I go to, I love networking and hearing other people's stories and what they're going through and what they're battling. And then they hear mine, and they hear that I have MS, and they're like, wait, you have MS? And I'm like, yeah. And so we kind of dive down this whole thing, and I tell them what my life looked like before. I tell them like what my life looked like as I got diagnosed, and then what I'm doing now. And this part is awesome. This part, not so much. But this part, the diagnosis, it hits me in the chest because it reminds me all the time. I'm constantly talking about it. This middle part reminds me so much of what ifs of this part. My life before MS, I constantly think about, what if I didn't have MS? What if I didn't have psoriasis? What if I didn't have thalassemia? What would this look like? What would my life look like now? So the diagnosis process in MS has been so bittersweet for me because I don't think I would have lived my life the way that I do now if I didn't have MS. My perspective of life changed completely. But I also am not able to do a lot of things that I was able to do. So constantly talking about it, it's what I wanted. But there was a side of it that I was not expecting. And that was the constant reminder of all the shit I had been through. With diagnosis, with doctors and medications and misdiagnosis and, injury and just all kinds of stuff. And here I am, being a motivational speaker, sharing my story. I started an apparel brand. I'm traveling. I'm getting ready to compete. I'm doing everything that I wanted to do, but there's still this black hole in my mentality. And I think it's because I need to adapt to my new normals. But I think in order to do that, you need to be aware of what is causing that black hole. And I constantly tell people in my story and constantly tell people on my social media that acceptance looks different for everybody. I have accepted that I have MS, but I think I haven't fully accepted how MS has affected me. And there's a difference. And this is a concept that you can take outside of MS. This is a concept you can take in life, no matter what you're going through. Acceptance is different for everybody. Your situation of acceptance is different. I'm just saying, it may have different stages. And I think I'm going through a stage right now where I'm learning to accept MS has affected me. So that's my check-in with you guys. I know it's a long spiel, but with all of that, I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this journey. I can't thank you enough for the support. Link will be down in the description for Action Threads. That's my apparel brand. It stands for accountability, consistency, transparency, and new beginnings. That's what, to me, the 4 most important things you have to do to take action in your life and becoming the best version of yourself. So check out some merchandise. Thank you for the support. Subscribe, like, share the video. You never know who this could impact. I constantly am trying to embrace my vulnerability and insecurities to help you. So thanks.